everybody, welcome back to the last class in this Birds in Flight series. Today's class is Bird of Paradise. So we'll do a lot of progressions up towards the peak pose of Bird of Paradise, which I'm honestly still working on, and I'm not quite there yet. So we'll just do this together and work through it together. You won't need any props other than just your mat, so grab that and we'll get started. Make your way into child's pose to begin. And as you're getting there, I don't have like a specific interesting fact about these birds, but just know that they are the most beautifully plumaged birds, like crazy beautiful colors and like weird wiry feathers, wires that the males use to do their mating dance. If you haven't seen a Bird of Paradise mating dance, go YouTube it. That's insane. They like turn their eyes different fluorescent colors, turn into crazy shapes, vibrations. It's weird. It's beautiful. It's like crazy. So go look that up when you're done with this. So meeting in child's pose, hips are resting on your heels, arms are stretched out long in front of you. And then walk your hands over to the right for a side bend as you extend your left leg out to the side. We have to open up our adductor, our groin, a lot before moving into Bird of Paradise. So we'll begin there. Reach your left fingertips a little further in front of you. Feel a nice side stretch through the left ribs. And then also work on sinking your left sit bone to the mat to deepen the groin stretch. Move back through center and we'll switch sides. Tuck your left knee underneath you. You might need to scoot over if you're near a wall. Stretch your hands out to the left side. Big right body stretch. And extend your right leg long to the side. Sinking the inner seam of your thigh closer to the mat. Stretch your fingertips a little further. One more deep breath in. And release. Come back to your neutral child's pose. And then lift your body up so you're stacked over your heels in thunderbolt pose. Place your left fingertips beside your left hip. Reach your right arm high and then over to the left side body stretch. Feel the expansion through each rib space. Keep the quality of your breath. Inhale. And exhale, place your right hand on the outside of your left thigh as your left fingertips then reach behind you for a twist. Opening up the left shoulder to the left side. And release through center. Place your right fingertips on the outside of your right hip. Inhale, sweep your left arm overhead and over to the right side of the mat. Find length through both sides of your torso. And then side bend some more. One more breath. And then on your exhale, plant your left hand on the outside of your right leg. Right fingertips behind you for a twist open. One more breath in and release on the exhale. Come to sit on your sit bones with your feet out in front of you in a bear sit position. I've heard this next thing called broken wing. I'm not sure what other name it has, but place the back side of your left hand on your side waist and then tuck your left elbow on the inside of your left knee. So this is stretching a ton through the outer back part of your left shoulder. It's similar to if you've ever done a sleeper stretch like this. So if you want to do the sleeper stretch, stick with that. Otherwise, this is doing very similar motion. A couple of breaths on this side. And release, and then we'll switch sides. So back of the right hand to the right waist, tuck that right elbow on the inside of your right knee. Most often we move into bird of paradise from a binded side angle pose. So with the bind, we really have to work into internal rotation of our shoulder. So we'll prepare here. Now, if you can, do both at the same time. And just gently push in with your knees. Not to the point of pain, just a shoulder opening. It's intense though. It's not an easy one. Couple more breaths here. Release that and lay onto your back. Now, if you're really tight through your inner thighs, please use a strap for this next part. Otherwise, we'll lay all the way on down and we'll come into extended big toe pose. So with your peace fingers, your index and middle finger, grab onto the big toe of your right foot, bend your knee into your chest, and extend it in front of you and out to the side. So if the wall's in your way, scoot over. Some people can flatten their leg to the mat, some cannot. Do what your body can do. The point is just to open the inner groin. And again, use a strap around the bottom of your foot if you need here. Try to root your left sit bone down and roll your left hip bone open. Easier said than done. Final breath here. Now when you release your hands, let me scoot over a little more. When you release your hand, can you keep your foot where it is, actively engaging your hip flexors, and then release. We'll move to the other side, so scoot over if you scooted before. Bend your left knee in, peace fingers onto the big toe. Straighten your left knee, and then bring it out to the side. Two more breaths. Now I want you to tighten your quads, engage your outer left glutes and your left hip flexor. Release your hand, keep your foot where it is, and then relax. Roll on up, make your way into tabletop pose at the front of your mat. Hands are stacked under shoulders, knees are stacked under hips. Take a little cat-cow just to warm up, or sway the hips side to side. Move into whatever feels good here. Now firm through your palms and your left knee. You're going to bring your right knee to the outside of your right elbow, shifting your weight forward slightly. And then bring it back to center. Plant the right knee, pick up the left, shift forward, left knee to outside of left elbow. Tuck through your toes, hover your tabletop, knees are an inch or two off the ground. And we'll do the same thing, right knee to outside of right elbow, shift forward and back, left side and back. Now, right knee to outside of right foot, or plant your foot on the outside of your right hand for a lizard pose. So you can drop the back knee, untuck the back toes, and just take a nice twist open to the right, rotating onto the blade, pinky edge of your right foot. Put your shoulders in your neck if you need. Now plant both hands in the center again, and we'll move into Skandasana. So just from the ball of your right foot, move those toes to face in. Tuck your back toes, sit your hips down into this really deep squat lunge on the right side. Again, heavy emphasis on opening the inner thigh. Sink your hips a little lower. And then plant your hands. We're gonna tuck the back toes, come into plank, sending your right leg back behind you, hovering off the mat. And then we're gonna shift forward. So with the straight leg, try to bring those right toes to the very outside of your right hand. Super active. Push through your palms and back to plank pose. Lower your knees down and we'll switch sides. So first, find your tabletop. And then left knee to outside of left elbow, shift the weight forward. Back to center. Right knee, right elbow. Back to center, tuck your toes, hover your knees off the mat an inch or two. Left knee to left elbow. And then right knee to right elbow. Back to center, and then left foot plants on the outside of the left hand for lizard pose. Drop your back knee and twist open to the left. Expand through your chest a little more. Melt the front of your right hip down to the mat. And then rotate your left toes in. Tuck your back foot, sit your hip bones, or your sit bones down to the left heel for Skandasana. Always have the option to do skater lunge instead of surfer lunge. Now from Skandasana, we're gonna take a few breaths here, but when we move into that plank, really bring the idea of that protraction that we learned in our first class, really pressing through the palms and separating the shoulder blades to make more space for your straight leg to move forward. Let's do one more breath in your Skandasana. And then plant both hands at the top of your mat. Step back to a three-legged plank. And this is where you're super strong through your arms, straight left leg. Can you reach it forward to kind of come as if it could tap the outside of your left hand? Whatever you can do. If you need to bend your knee, that's fine. Good, and then send your hips high to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet, walk it out, do what you need to do. And we'll move through a little vinyasa here. Inhale, reach your right leg high, three-legged dog. Exhale, send your right knee forward, plant that foot between your hands and lower your back knee. Keep your back toes tucked. We're coming into this low lunge. I want you to do a tricep stretch. So left elbow pierces the sky, and then right hand grabs a hold of it. Spend a few breaths here, just moving back and forth through the hips, all the while keeping that nice arm stretch as well. You can do a little back bend too if that feels good, really melting your hips to the mat, as long as your low back feels safe and strong. Now we're keeping our back toes tucked because now we're gonna lift your back knee, come into high lunge with this stretch. Bend more deeply into your front knee. And then propel off your back foot, come into airplane, balancing on that right foot with your arms in that stretch. Bird of Paradise is also an intense balance pose, so let's work on that early on as well. Good. Now lower your back knee down again, low lunge. Release your hands. We're going to come into revolved reverse low lunge. So right arm down, left leg. Inhale, sweep your left arm overhead. Twisting your body open to the right, And also really expanding through your chest, lifting it up to the sky. So it's a back bend and a twist. Plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Pluck your back knee up. Right hand sweeps to the sky for twisted runner's lunge. Push through the sole of your right foot. Rise up to reverse, revolved high lunge. Right hand slides down the left leg as before, and left arm up and overhead. Hug your inner thighs together, navel into spine. Use your right hand to pry your body open in a gentle way. Now move into a side bend from here. So let the chest face the front, left arm over to the right. Recommit into that lunge. Good. And then let your body totally drape forward to the front and then to the center as you pivot your toes in for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten your spine, bend into your knees. So kind of like a forward fold goddess combination, and exhale, fold. Do that again. Inhale, really sink your hips in between your knees to feel the inner thighs working. And exhale, forward fold. Bring your right hand behind your back, out to the side and behind your back, and find a little half bind. So these fingertips will come onto the inside of your left hip, if possible. This really is opening our chest to the right. So a little twist here, and then we'll work into some skater lunges. So keep your hand bound the whole time, and just bend into your left knee, and then bend into your right knee. Now we're going to turn to face the back of your mat and end up in a half bind side angle pose. So left toes will be straight, right toes are at a 90-degree angle. Torso opens up to the right. Side angle pose. Left hand can be on your left ankle, fingertips on the mat, or propped up onto your left knee with that left elbow. One more breath with the bind. And then on your next exhale, release that as you stretch your right fingertips really far in front of you. Long line of energy from right fingertips through blade edge of right foot. Good, plant your right hand, step back to downward facing dog. And we'll do the other side. So inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, knee to chest, plant your left foot between your hands, lower your back knee. Keep your toes tucked. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Right elbow pierces the sky. Left hand grabs a hold of right elbow. So just take some rocks back and forth. Add in a back bend if you want. And then press through ball of right foot and heel of left foot. Rise up for high lunge. Same arm shape. Send breath through the front of your right hip. Hug your inner thighs together. Widen your left toes. Lunge forward into airplane with the tricep stretch. Working into that balance. One more breath. Roll your right hip down. Good, and then plant your right knee down. Unravel your arms. Left hand reaches down the back of your right leg. Reverse revolve, low lunge. So again, it's a side bend, and it's also a back bend. But you can bias one or the other, whatever you're comfortable with. Plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Pluck your right knee up. Come into a twisted runner's lunge, opening to the left. Good. Firm through your feet. Rise up to reverse revolved high lunge. Left hand down the back of the right knee. Right arm overhead, bicep framing the ear. Big full breaths, keep the quality. Then move into a side bend. So torso can face the front, right arm remains overhead, and then reaches over to the left. Keep an eye on your hips, make sure they're still square, and lunge into that left knee. Drape your body down and bring it to the center for a wide-legged forward fold, facing the long edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, bend into your knees slightly, sink the hips down, and exhale, forward fold. One more there, really feel the inner thighs working in your goddess variation, and stretch it out with the fold. Place your right fingertips in the middle, and you'll sweep your left arm up, and then wrap it behind so you touch the top of the right thigh or inner thigh. Twist the body open to the left. Full breaths. And then work into your skater lunges, bending into the left knee, the right knee, keeping that half bind. One more over to the left. And then as you go to the right, point your right toes to face the front of the mat. Keep your left foot where it is, and then find your side angle with the half bind. Roll your left shoulder blade down your back. Pull your right heel and the inner left foot energetically towards each other, really active through all your hip muscles. And then left fingertips can be on the ground, or you can prop up onto your right elbow. One more inhale here. And then on your next exhale, release your arms, stretch your left fingertips really, really far in front of you. Extended side angle pose. Good, plant your left hand. Step back to downward facing dog, and we'll do the same thing. One more time per side. Inhale, three-legged dog on the right. Exhale, knee to chest, plant your right foot. Drop your left knee, keep your toes tucked. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Tricep stretch on the left. Sink your hips down on an exhale. Inhale, rise to high lunge. Exhale, sink down on an exhale. Inhale, spring forward for airplane. Exhale, stay. Now drop down, back knee drops for low lunge. And then come into your reverse revolved version. Left arm overhead, right arm down the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, release. Plant your left hand on the inside of your right foot. Pick your left knee up. Inhale, runner's lunge with a twist to the right. Exhale, twist deeper. Push through your right foot. Inhale, sweeps you up to reverse revolved high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, lunge deeper. Torso faces the front, just come into a side bend over to the right. Inhale, and exhale, body drapes forward, and then you rotate to face the wide edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, goddess variation, squat back. Fingertips on the ground, exhale, fold. One more there, inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Left hand plants, inhale, right hand reaches up. And exhale, wrap that arm behind. Inhale, stay for the twist. Exhale, bend into your left knee. And then bend over to the right side. And then as you come over to the left, again, you're gonna pivot your toes to face the back of the mat and find your way into your side angle with a half bind. Hand can begin on your elbow or on the inside of your left ankle. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, extend your right fingertips really long. Scoop your left sit bone underneath you. Good, plant your hand, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches high. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, drop your back knee. Sweep your arms up, tricep stretch with the right arm. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, sink your hips low. Push to the ball of your right foot, inhale, high lunge. Exhale, deepen your lunge. Root through your left toes, inhale, spring forward for airplane. Exhale, stay. Drop your back knee again. Release your arms, inhale, reverse revolved, low lunge. Left arm down the back of the right leg. Right arm overhead. And stay. Plant your right hand on the inside of your left foot. Pick up your back right knee. Inhale, twist open to the left, runner's lunge. Exhale, stay. Roll that left hip underneath you. Inhale, rise up, reverse revolved, high lunge. Right bicep framing your ear. Exhale, deepen into your lunge. Side bend, torso faces the front. Right arm over to the left. Roll your right hip forward. Drape your body down. Face the wide edge of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees, set your hips back. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Right hand plants, inhale, left arm sweeps up. And exhale, wrap your left arm behind. So it grasps onto your inner right thigh. Bend into your right knee, skater lunge. Bend into your left knee, skater lunge. As you move back into the right knee, pivot your toes to face the front of the mat. And find yourself in an extended or a binded side angle pose. One more breath. On the exhale, release your left fingertips to stretch really far in front of you. Scoop your right sit bone underneath your body. And exhale, release. Step your left foot up and just come into a forward fold. Taking a mini break here from that challenging vinyasa. Just sway your body side to side. Couple more things here before we move into our peak pose. Find a still forward fold shape. From forward fold, walk heel toe your feet out. Heels are gonna point in, toes out. Sink your hips between your knees for Malasana. Now we're gonna come into a binding Malasana. Wrap your right tricep on the inside of your right knee, and then reach that hand behind you. Left arm sweeps up overhead, and then you'll clasp fingertips behind you, or clasp wrists. Wrists. I meant to say wrists, but you know. Big breath here, open the chest. Exhale, release your hands. Pivot your right toes to face in, just parallel, and we'll spring up for half moon. So you're strong through your right foot. Your right fingertips are here for balance. Please use a block underneath your hand if you want. Back away from any pointy plants. And then pelvis opens to the left. Left hand reaches high. Working on that balance again. Good. Now your left knee is going to come in towards your chest. Your torso will face the floor. And then peace fingers grab on to left big toe. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, extend, straighten your left leg out to the side. Extended big toe pose. Right hand is on your hip. Torso is facing the front. One more breath, grow a little taller. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Send that leg behind you into warrior two. And then come into a full binded side angle pose. So wrap your left arm behind you. And this time, your right arm is gonna come underneath your right thigh if possible. And then your fingertips grasp behind you. Try to keep some expansion through your chest, extension through your spine. roll your left shoulder open. Now straighten into your left or your right leg for binded pyramid. Big breath in. Plant your hands. Roll onto the outer edge of your right foot and actually plant the whole foot if you can. We're coming into happy baby side plank. So peace fingers grab onto right big toe. And then right knee lifts up to the side of your body. Now, if you can, start to extend through your right knee here. Good. Release your grip. Can you keep your leg where it is? Nice work. Come into downward facing dog, release. Walk to the top of your mat for a forward fold. Big, purifying, releasing breaths. Heel toe your feet out, toes out, heels in, drop into Malasana. Same thing, other side, just one round on this. So wrap your left arm on the outside of your left knee. Right arm comes behind your back, Malasana with a bind. You can rock your hips or you can stay still. Just think about sitting up a little taller and peeling that right shoulder open. Good. Point your left toes forward. Release your bind. Left fingertips on the ground for balance as you open up the right leg and the pelvis to the right for half moon. Strong through your right ankle, engaging the outer right glute. Foot is really active on the ground for balance. One more breath. Now right knee into chest, torso faces the ground. Peace finger your right big toe. Stand up through your left leg. And then extend your right leg out to the side. Straighten through your right knee. Left hand can be out for balance or on your hip. Good job. Can you let go and keep your leg where it is? And then send it back, right leg back for warrior two. Moving into our binded side angle. So right arm wraps behind your back, left arm underneath the left hamstring. Hold your hand or wrist or fingers. One side might be different than the other. Try to create some space through your left side body. Crown of the head reaches forward. And then straighten into your front knee for binded pyramid. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands plant in front of you. Pivot on to the outer blade edge of your right foot. Come into happy baby side plank. Peace fingers grab hold of left big toe. Knee into chest. And then extend your left leg. Release your big toe, keep your leg where it is. And then plant hand and foot down. Sit back into a child's pose. Let your breath slow. So we took all the necessary steps to move into bird of paradise. It's a really hard pose. It takes a lot of single leg balance, a lot of outer glute activation and inner thigh opening, side body opening. So the point is, if you don't get it today, do not fret, just keep working at it. I'm working at it too. But we're smart. We took a lot of active approaches to our core strength and just gaining that range of motion, that mobility, activating our own muscles. So good job with all that. Good. reach your fingertips long. Tuck your toes, send your hips high for downward facing dog. And then we're gonna move into our bird of paradise. So inhale, three-legged dog on the right leg, and then send your right foot, plant it between your hands. Swivel your left heel down, and then find your side angle with the full bind. Right arm reaches under right hamstring, left arm behind your back, clasp hands. Now, take one step in with your left foot, and another step in, and then pick up your left toes, widen them, and plant them back down. That's our balance point. Make sure you're sturdy here. When you're ready, lighten the load on your right toes and stand up. Get your balance here. If you stay with knee bent, that is an awesome start. If you're able, try to straighten your right knee. One more breath. Should be shaking. Slowly release down, forward fold. Good job if you got it, good try if you didn't. I'm not quite there with full knee extension. Plant your hands, step back to downward dog. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Three-legged dog, exhale, that foot plants between your hands. Swivel your back heel down and find your side angle. Right arm wraps behind, left arm wraps under. Get a good grip. Firm through your left toes, step your right foot in one notch and two notches. Create as much of a wide base of support as you can through your right foot. Lighten the load on your left toes. Pick your left leg up as you stand. Stay here, expanding through the chest, or start to straighten into your left leg. One more breath. Gently release down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Feel free to pause the video and try that again. Otherwise, sit your hips down. Come onto your bottom. One more fun variation that just takes out the balance aspect of it. Stretch your right or your left leg long. Wrap your right arm under your right hamstring and behind your back. Left arm sweeps around, and you can try bird of paradise here in a sitting posture. It's actually a little harder to extend your knee, I think, but it'll just give you the idea of how to open your chest, how to have your shoulders reaching in the right spot, and then getting that knee extension. And then release that leg. Switch them out, extend your right leg long, bend your right knee or your left knee in, left arm under left hamstring, right arm behind your back, and then just work on opening through the chest, sitting up into your sit bones, and extending the left knee. Good job. Keep your left sole of your foot planted, left fingertips behind you. Inhale, right arm up, and take a little seated twist here. The hard part is over. Time for a couple nice stretches. Lay your left knee down. Keep your right foot where it is. We're coming into a side bend, Y56. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. And then if you can, grab onto your big toe with your peace fingers, and then left arm will reach overhead. If you're here with right elbow planted on right knee or thigh, that's totally fine. If you can, reach for the outside of your right foot and really open through your left side body. Gently release into Y56, just a forward fold over your right leg. sides. Extend your left leg long. Sole of the right foot is planted on the inside of the left thigh. Right fingertips behind you. Left arm up and hooks on the right knee for a twist. Release your right knee down, open your pelvis a little bit, and then take any variation of your one-legged side bend that you want. Turn your torso to face the mat and come into a forward fold. Feel free to lower your spine and release into Shavasana, or pause the video and try any of those things again. When you're ready, meet me in a cross-legged position, facing the front of your mat, hands on your knees. One big inhale together. When releasing, exhale. Hands at heart center. Namaste. Yay, good job guys. That was it. Class 4, I would say the most challenging. Definitely the one I'm working on the most. Bird of Paradise. So like I said, takes a lot of different aspects to get that pose successfully. Takes a long time. This is hopefully a really good class for you to revisit. Like I said, it visits the flexibility and mobility and strength and core strength and balance, everything that you need. So keep trying, keep watching this class, share it, share this whole series if you enjoyed it, please, with anyone you think who would like it. And yeah, thanks for joining. I'll see you guys next time.